Hi friends, Miss Amanda here with another fun Friday mini toolbox lesson. I hope you have all had time to use your garbage can tool. It's one of my favorites. And this week's tool, I hope you will find helpful. This week's tool is called the Taking Time tool, which I know is a super important one as we're working really hard to adjust to learning while we're at home. And the Taking Time tool says, I take time in and time away. And it's a picture of a watch. So the hand gesture just goes like this, like you're tapping on your watch. So if maybe you're reminding someone else to use their Taking Time tool or they're reminding you, they might just go like this and you'll know, okay, I need to use my Taking Time tool. And you might be thinking, what does it mean to take time in versus time away? So they're two different things, and they both kind of depend on the day that you're having, the mood you're in, where you are, whether you're hungry, whether you slept or not. So the taking time in, that first part, means that you just are taking a quiet moment, kind of like the breathing tool, to breathe, calm your body, and think about what you need to do next to get through whatever feeling you're feeling. So like for instance, this morning I felt really tired. So I needed a time in. So I needed to take a big deep breath. So I used my breathing tool and I thought to myself, what other tool would be helpful today? And what I decided to do is I decided to go ahead and use my Quiet Safe Place tool. I took a moment to imagine myself at my favorite beach where it was quiet and calm and sunny. And that was enough for me to just go ahead and move on with my day and not worry about thinking about how tired I was or all the work that I had to do today. So if, say, I was having a day where I was so tired, I was getting angry over little things, I felt like I was going to explode and I felt out of control, that's when I might need to use my words and ask for what's called a time away. So a time away is basically the same thing as asking for a break. And I can tell you, I need breaks, your parents need breaks, you need breaks. Everyone has moments where they just need a break to kind of collect themselves, cool off, and come back so that they're ready to get through whatever situation that they're facing. And I know many of you guys are having lots of learning going on at home that can be confusing sometimes and frustrating at times. So sometimes asking for a time away or a break might be a helpful thing to do so that you can get through that problem and move on with your day. So again, taking time in is just kind of taking that quiet reflection moment to think about what tool you can use to get through whatever situation you're in right now, or time away is actually asking for a break. And even when we need to have time away and ask for a break, just remember that's usually a short time. It's just enough time to get ourselves in a place where we can calm down and relax and move forward. It doesn't mean that we're running away from our problem, because even though I'd like to ask for a break and, not do all the work stuff that I have to do sometimes, it's still going to be there when I get back. So it's better to just learn how to take care of myself and handle my big feelings so that I can come back and I can finish the work that's really important that needs to get done. So I have some scenarios today, and I just wanted to use them as a way to teach you how to think about taking time in versus time away. Both of them are our taking time tool. So first scenario, this one I think you've all had this experience so far as we've been home. You don't understand your assignment. So in that situation, if you didn't understand your assignment, would you take a time in or a time away? So I think most of you would say you probably just need a time in. So you probably just need that moment where you think to yourself, what tool can I use to get through the situation when I don't understand my assignment? And one thing that might help is just taking a few big deep breaths and rereading the assignment, right? Because we're calming our body and then we're able to understand things a little clearer. Or maybe in that scenario, you might need to go use your words and email your teacher or ask your teacher, hey, could you help me? I don't understand this. So either way, you just solved a problem by taking time. So if you're having just the worst morning ever and you don't understand your assignment, you didn't have breakfast, you feel like you're going to explode and you want to just, be angry, then maybe that's a time when you say to whoever's at home, hey, I need a time away. I need to go take a break for a minute so that I can deal with my frustrations. And then what you would do is you would think of what are some ways that you could calm yourself for a few minutes so you can come back and use your time in a more effective way. So sometimes what I like to do is just take a little walk around outside. I might go get a drink of water. If you're hungry, maybe going and eating a little protein might help. And then after that, then you could kind of move back into that taking time in. So you're going from asking for a break and you're going to go ahead and now you're going to take a time in. You can use your words, you can breathe, and you can move on. Okay, how about this scenario? You are having some big feelings because you had a little argument with your sister and she called you a meanie, right? So if your sister's calling you names, do you need a time in or a time away? So again, that would really depend on what kind of day you're having. Most of us would probably just say we need a time in. So maybe in that instance, we could just breathe. We can remember that our sister maybe hasn't learned her tools or she's feeling big feelings and she's frustrated. So we could have that empathy tool for our sister. We could listen to our sister, right? We could use our words with our sister and just tell her, hey, I'm sorry. If we can use our apology and say, I'm sorry if you think I'm a meanie. I'm not trying to be a meanie. I just need some time and quiet space to do my work, right? But if your sister called you a meanie and maybe she hit you also, maybe that's a time when you would move into that needing a time away, where instead of hitting her back or screaming at her, you would think to yourself, I need a time away. I need to go use my taking time tool and I need to go calm myself down so that I can handle the situation in the best way. And again, that might be going and, taking a little walk around the block. Maybe it's going and talking to your parents and letting them know your sister's making you feel really frustrated. Whatever you need to do that helps you feel calm before you go back to handle your sister, whatever you need to do works, right? That's using your time wisely. That's taking your time tool and using it effectively. So what I invite you to do this week, because we don't have our tools to decorate in class, is I want you to think of maybe 3 things that you can do when you feel like you're in that place where you're going to explode, where you're out of control. What can you do to calm yourself down? So whether it's using your breathing tool, using your quiet safe place tool, going in, I know some of my teacher friends have their classes writing in gratitude journals. Oftentimes that can kind of shift our mood a little bit and just thinking about what we're grateful for, getting some exercise, whatever works, petting your dogs or your cats, your pets, right? And sometimes just drawing it or writing it down actually helps our brain to remember it. So when we get to those points, when we feel like we're going to explode, we can go ahead and know exactly what to do. We can check our drawing or our writing and remember what are those ideas that we thought about beforehand so that we can control our emotions and get back into a place where we can just use time in. Because like we talk about all the time, we are made of so many emotions and they're all normal. They're all helpful emotions. They give us clues for what our body needs. But part of our toolbox tools are learning how to get through some of those harder ones in a way that's safe and helps everybody to feel like they are making the best choices that they can. So have a wonderful Friday. Practice your taking time tool, and I will see you next week.